So thank you all so much for joining. You're very welcome to our Monday user group, our summer edition. I hope you're all having a lovely summer. For those of you who don't know or who are new to this session, my name is Cian. I'm a customer success representative here at Provident for Monday.com. Now, we were supposed to do this session with Amy, but she is sick today, unfortunately. But no worries, I'll be covering for her. Hopefully she gets well soon. So let's go through a couple of housekeeping things first, and then I'll just jump right in because we have a lot of exciting stuff to go through today. So this will be a 30-minute interactive demo session, and you can ask us anything. Like I said, if you want to unmute your microphone and keep your cameras on, that would be great. If not, it's fine. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. After this session, you'll receive a video recording within 24 hours, and then we will send you out a survey as well. So you can let me know how fantastic I did in the session, and please be nice to me. Thanks very much. So let's have a look at the agenda. So in today's session, we're going to look at some of the new Monday features. First of which I'll go through is categorized by AI. The second one is advanced project management. We have the new workflows feature. And then at the end, if you like during the session, you want to keep your questions, then you can jump in at the end and let me know if you have any questions. So perfect. So let's jump right in. I presume you can all see the screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So the first thing we're going to look at is categorized by AI. So what is categorized by AI? Basically, what this is there's a new AI feature in Monday, and you can categorize a text column to any status columns labels, and it auto categorize requests by urgency, type, related topic, etc. So obviously the huge advantage to this is that it will not only save you time, but it'll improve your data organization and allow for easier reporting. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples here. So the first example I have here is like a ticketing system. So for a service desk, for example. Okay. So you can see I have a couple of groups here, and our tickets come in through a work form. Now, if you're not using Monday work forms, this can still be used if you're using maybe like an integration that's coming in. But I really recommend using Monday work forms if you're not already, because they're super powerful. They can be sent anywhere with a link. For example, I can paste it into the link in the browser and it can be filled in from anywhere. Someone doesn't need access to Monday to fill these things in. Okay, so all the information comes in through a form, and this is where we're getting our tickets. Okay, so you can see we have our first request from Emily. Now, this request has actually been sent in Russian. Now, I don't speak Russian, but the good news is I don't have to, because Monday AI can translate this for me. So you can see we have just a text column, and it's a translated request by AI. Now, I'm going to show you the automations you need to set up for this at the end, but you can see here that we can now understand Emily's request. So what is Emily's request? She's saying, I forgot my email password, and the reset link is not coming to my email address for a recovery. How can I gain access to my account? So if we scroll over, we can see we have 3 different status columns. Now, what the AI has done is it's actually selected the labels based on what it has read through the work form. So you can see here that it's looked at this text and it's decided that the urgency is decided to mark it as urgent. It's chosen the request type, obviously picked up correctly that it's an issue, and it knows that the category is software. It's not anything to do with equipment, it's actual software. Now we have another column here, which is another AI column. You can see it by the little star icon. I think everyone's using this icon now for AI. And it picks up the sentiment too. So we can see here it's neutral. We have another AI column that, if it's too long, didn't read, someone's banging on about something and you're like, this is too long, it can summarize the request too. So unable to reset password, seeking help to regain account access. So already this is like super powerful, super useful. But what's amazing about this, now this is actually a template, guys. So you can play around with this yourself. All you need to do is click this plus icon, choose from templates, and you will have AI powered over here. Now, if you find you don't have this on your account, don't worry, it'll be like released over the next month or two. But that's where you can find the AI templates. So We can we'll scroll back over. Here we are. And we also have a box where it will suggest a reply. So this is again another AI text box, and it's actually automatically suggested a reply I can send out. So it says, "Hi Emily, I'm currently working on regaining access to your account. I apologize for the inconvenience caused, etc., etc." Okay, so it takes this kind of from your working status too, and it initiates a reply. And what's amazing is it replies back in Russian. So it can you can type in here your reply and it will pick this up and it will translate it back to the original language. Now, one feature a lot of people don't use is buttons on Monday. So we have a button here, and to add a button, you just create another column and you click the plus icon and you choose buttons. So it's over here, and you just click add column and then you type in here button, and then you can automate a button to do anything you want. So then all you need to do is click this and it will send a reply to Emily. And again, you can see we're time tracking and things here. So like that is super powerful. The whole thing can be all made like that easily. Again, you can see some more examples here. You can see Christopher's request and it's categorized everything here. So I'm going to show you an example. So let me say I'm having an issue with something. So my name, I'll type in my email. And let's say my VPN keeps disconnecting every 10 minutes, for example. So this is me having an issue. Obviously, as soon as I fill out this form, it will come back into the service desk. You can see it's all filled in here. You can see the translate request obviously doesn't have to translate because it's in English. And you can see it's automatically categorized all this. So non-urgent, we can see the request type is an issue. Oh, we can see it's actually selected VPN here in the category column. So again, it's absolutely amazing. You can see it's already, come up with a reply to, and to send this out, all I need to do is click this button and it gets sent out. So absolutely amazing, super powerful. And again, here's some more examples. I don't want to run too over time here because we have a lot to get through. But here's some examples. Say, for example, you're working in HR and you have these requests coming in. You can see someone is saying they've not received their salary for the current period. Absolute nightmare, obviously. So it's, again, categorize this into payroll, request type, picked up the sentiment, all this sort of stuff. So super useful. So I'm going to show you some of the examples of the automations. If we click into the automations here, you can see there's multiple automations set up. So when translate request AI changes, use AI to fill in the reply. When an item is created, use AI to fill in the original language reply. You can see all these AI things here. So to gain access to that, you want to click add automation. So for example, when an item is created, then just type in AI here and you will see all the different options. So you can categorize, you can detect sentiment, improve text, all this stuff. So really easy to use and set up. I really recommend using some of the templates to get a head start there on that. So I think that's about it for AI so far. Again, if you don't have it, you will gain access soon enough. And this is going to be improved on over time. It's only going to get more powerful. So that is categorize AI. Any questions on that so far? Yeah.
Is that only on templates that are AI powered? Do you have to start with that template, or can you retrofit it to existing boards?
You can put it on an existing board. All you do is like create your status columns and then use your automation and then just link it to the specific column. So for example, you made a status column and you go in here, click add automation. And then, for example, like when an item is created, type in AI. So you can say like categorize with AI, and then you just choose the columns that you want to categorize. So it's that easy. You don't have to use the templates. You can use this across the board. And so hopefully that answers your question. And any more questions on that? Okay, perfect.
Hi, Cian. Sorry, there's a question in the chat box.
Oh, sorry. What's the question? Sorry, I can't actually.
It's if the AI gets a category wrong, can you change the solution manually?
Yeah, you can. You just go to your label and fix it. You just go in here, and select the urgency, you know. So it can all be done manually. Again, it may not be perfect. From my testing, it seems to be pretty accurate, but again, it's only going to get better and better. But obviously, if it categorizes it wrong, you can just go in and change it yourself. Right, so let's move on to some more advanced project management features. Now, not able to squeeze in loads in this demo. If you want to learn more, obviously, please get in contact with me. I'll leave my email at the end of this call in the chat box, and we can go through it in more detail. But let's have a look. Now, from my conversation with customers that I have, I don't think enough people are using automations to their advantage. So I'm going to show you maybe some examples I have. Now, one thing I like to do personally is automate as many things as possible. So to do this, it's really good to use templates and as many templates for boards as you can, especially if you have like repeatable processes or workflows. So what I like to do is just create a folder over here. And I like to keep everything nice and clean, you know, have everything in your templates so you can go into your existing templates and you can kind of change them if you need to, or you can just keep track of all the templates that you might have. So first of all, I really recommend making a folder of templates. Again, how do you make a template from a board? All you need to do is go to a specific board, click this icon and click Save as Template. Okay, now you can save that in the folder, but once that is saved, you click this plus icon, you can go choose from templates, and then all you can see templates created in your account over here. And then every template that you've made is going to be here. And so you can pick and choose. So let's say, for example, wouldn't it be nice if, you know, we went to start a new project and we could automate the process to notify the right people and create a board from a template ready to jump into and work on. Obviously, this is going to save so much time, you know, instead of manually creating your boards again or duplicating existing boards. It's really going to set yourself up for success, to be honest. So let me have a look here. As you can see, I have two projects that I'm working on. Again, these can be any types of projects. It doesn't have to look like this. But you can see here I have my Mug Project 1 and Mug Project 2. And we also have a high-level board. So let's say, for example, you have a new project that you want to start and you want your team to get working on it as soon as possible. You can either fill in maybe your project details here. You can have the name of the project, the brief, due date. Again, this work form can be as complex as you need. You can have as much information as you want in it. But let's say you start a new project and then it could notify the right people, create a new board, everything from one automation. Now, the automation itself is really simple. It's right here. So it's when an item is created, create a board from template. So if I click into this, it's going to ask you to select the board that you want. I've chosen my template here. And you can automatically fill in the name using this plus icon, and you would choose item name. This is just going to take the item that was put in the work form and fill that in as the project title. You can choose your privacy here. And you can also have it go into a folder. A lot of people, when they do these automations, it just goes like to a random place and it doesn't stay in the folder. You can have it go into a certain board, you can have it go into a certain workspace, and you can also have it go into a particular folder so it's nice and clean. So I'm going to show you some examples of this. So let me fill in this form. So Mug Project 3, the brief. Let's say we're doing like an advertising campaign for our new Christmas pudding. I don't know why I even thought of that, but there you go. As you can see, I'm excited for Christmas already. And let's say it needs to be done like by the end of August, you know, in time for, you know, getting it out by Christmas time. So we'll click submit. As you can see, it's come in here to our ongoing project. So again, whoever's filling this out is going to be in charge of the projects and how the brief goes. You can see that it's actually inside this folder, created a board ready to go from scratch. And it's notified to the right people. So we can all go in here and start working on it. So again, your board can be as complex as you want. This is a pretty simple one. But you can get really complex with this and have maybe multiple people in a certain group all ready to go and ready to work on a project. So this is like super useful and it's going to save you so much time. So I'd really recommend setting up that automation. Again, the automation is itself is actually very simple, but it does a lot for you. So again, the automation is just when an item is created, create a board from a template. And your template could be as complex or as not complex as you like. So I think this is really useful, especially for project managers and things like that. And I'd really recommend going into like the automation center and having a look at the pre-built templates. A lot of them are really useful. And a lot of people don't even realize this is here, and you'd be surprised. So you have it all, categorized here. You have some really basic ones, and you have some more advanced automations. So have a play around. Again, if you need any help with this sort of stuff, let me know, and I'll go through that stuff with you. So as you can see, it's going to save a lot of time, make our lives a lot easier. And again, you can see I have some buttons here. Again, utilizing the button column is super useful, because you can customize it to do whatever you want to do. So if I go into the settings on this column, for example, you can change the button colors, you can change what the button itself says. Sorry, it's taking a while. Let's have this load for a second. So it's actually just an automation. It's a shortcut to an automation. So the automation I set up was when request update is clicked, notify customer success team. So you might be looking at this project and you're like, okay, the status of this project is not looking great. I want an update from the team. Instead of going in there and like tagging them and whatever, you can just click this button, request update. The team members will then get a notification. As you can see, I have a notification here. And you can see, please update me with the latest. So again, really useful to use. A lot of people are not using automation, and you can see I got a little notification up here to my inbox. So I think that's about all I kind of wanted to show you on some more advanced project management automations. Again, there's so many use cases and so many more automations you can use, but I don't really have enough time today to go through them. So again, let me know if you want help on your particular workflow, and we can get right into it. I have another button here where we can maybe push the whole project 1 week. That's another automation I set up. So you can see this date will change to the 7th of September. And for example, if you have a project and there's a lot of external people and you only want them to see certain aspects of a project, say you only want them to see a couple of columns here, you don't want them to see everything, you can click this and it will send it. If you make a new view, for example, and you lock everything down and just have external people look at this, you can see if I click this button, send to external, I have an automation where now it will go to the ready to launch section and it will move over to, this is all external can see. They can just see the brief and any files that might be uploaded or associated with your project. So any questions on that so far? Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to jump onto workflows. I know we want to save some time at the end for some questions. But this is the latest Monday feature. So what is workflows? Basically, workflows is Monday's new go-to tool for bringing all the elements of your workflow together. So it incorporates automation and integration, but they're not just limited to one board. It's built on the workspace level, so it can span multiple boards. So the way I can see this being used is kind of by project managers, who instead of going into multiple different boards and trying to automate multiple steps, they can just create a new workflow and dictate how they want their flow of the projects to run. So for example, if the status of a certain or multiple projects is ready for launch, they may want the project to move to a new group that's ready to launch group and notify a team member or a group of people. So I'm going to show you some very simple workflows I've set up. Now, workflows is still in beta too. So it is a little buggy and you may not all have access yet. But the good news is it's coming to all plans for free, but it may be chargeable in future. So do keep that in mind. So let's take a look at some examples I have. Now, I haven't had much time with the tool, so these are very basic examples. Amy was going to cover this one, so I just kind of jumped in last minute to try and show you guys this. So the first workflow I've set up is a reminder workflow. So I think we've all been there where we've tagged someone in a project and we're looking for an update and a day passes, the update still isn't there. So with workflows, I can automate a reminder to team members to notify them again once a certain amount of time passes. And I can add conditions like only notify them if the status hasn't changed, for example. So I know obviously they didn't take a look at it or update the status. So the workflow I've set up is I'm gonna show you how the interface looks in a second. I'm just gonna go through this briefly. It's when a button is clicked. Now here you can actually select the board, and if I click here, actually I'll need to go into edit there in a second. Actually, we'll do it now. We might as well. So when a button is clicked, you can choose the board, so it spans all boards in your workspace. So you don't have to go into like individual boards separately. You choose the column. So the only column I have is just one button column. So when a button is clicked, notify someone. Again, you just click the plus icon after your first step, and then you can add multiple steps. So there could be an action, it can be a condition, and you could wait until something happens, or you can delay, you can pause for a certain amount of time, which is really useful. And but this one is simple. I'm just notifying myself. You can create your notification. You can type in the text you want. And when someone clicks on the notification, it brings them to a certain area. So I also have it then delay by a day. And if the status is something, if the status is still stuck, for example, again, you can customize all of this, then notify me again. And you can, change a notification. You can say you've received a nudge, or you can say something like hurry up or else. You can customize it completely yourself. So again, to set up a workflow, works very similar. You click the plus icon here, and you click new workflow, and your workflows all live in some place called the workflow center, which you can access from up here. So as you can see, you can keep track of all your workflows. And you can easily turn your workflows on and off. So I'm going to go to my next one. For example, you can see this is active. You can pause it at any time, which is really useful. It's like a nice little interface there. So for this one, I have it set up with some conditions, right? So with workflows, you can also add conditions. So as you can see, I've set it up in a way where if a particular date arrives, actually, I'll get into this and I'll show you. Perfect. So when a particular date arrives, again, you can choose your board, you can choose your specific column, and I have it set where if it's a day before the due date, I want to notify someone. But I have some conditions here. So if the status is behind schedule, I want to notify, for example, and you can add an entire team. I've chosen the customer success team here, or you can just notify a specific person. But if it's not behind schedule, so you can add a condition by just, again, clicking the plus icon, and you can click if, and then you can see all the options you have here. So if the status is not behind schedule, then you want to move the item to the group ready to launch, and you also want to notify someone. So there you go. It's really powerful. Again, I can get into this in more detail if you want to go one-on-one with me, but I'm kind of afraid I'm going to run over time here, and I want to save some time for questions. So again, it's super useful. Those are some examples. And to add your workflows, again, plus icon, new workflow. And I'm going to show you what it looks like from scratch, actually, just so you get an idea of how it looks. And there you go. So it'll start off with a trigger. So here's all your options. Maybe every time period. And then you just keep clicking the plus icon. And I mean, you can go on forever. You can make super complex workflows. But that's about it. So I think I've covered everything there. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. And we'll move on to a bit of a Q&A if anyone has questions. Sam, yeah, Samantha, do you have a question? Or was that from ages ago? Could have been from ages ago.
I think that's the legacy hand.
It's a legacy hand. Okay, fair enough. No worries. Sorry, lads. I'm only seeing this now. I don't think we have much. Andrew, do you have a question?
How do we have to request the workflow function? I don't see it. I've just had a quick look.
You don't see it. It's being rolled out, Andrew, so you probably don't have it yet. I barely have it. I only got it like a few days ago. So it's being rolled out. You should have it by the end of summer.
Okay.
But don't worry, it's coming to all accounts. But yeah, a lot of you guys probably don't have it yet. But when you do have it and you need some help with it, just let me know. I'm going to throw my email actually in here. Any more questions?
On the automations, is there any way now to do the automations as in a specific order, or is that still to be rolled out?
Are you kind of relating this to workflows or just like automations on the board level?
Automations in general. Sorry.
What do you mean by specific order, Andrew?
I think it just does it go from the top to the bottom, or so you want to create something, then you want to do something else, then you want to do something else. It's just sort of does it randomly at the moment, as far as I can see.
Really? It shouldn't do. I mean, I can have a look with you one-on-one and see how it's set up, because you should be able to automate things in really any order you want. So if you want, I can jump on with yourself, Andrew. If you want to just send me an email, we can jump on a call and I can have a look at your use case and see how we can fix it. But you should be able to automate in any way you want.
Okay, that's super. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. No worries. And there we go. Thanks, Letitia, for the survey. So if you want to roast me, there you go. There's your link. So again, look, thank you so much, guys, for joining. It's been a pleasure. And please let us know if there's anything you want to focus on for the next mug or anything you think you find useful. In the survey, there will be a little section for that. So please let us know. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.